Okay, so Galaxy S5 LCD removal. Got the air running at 120 Celsius, and I'm just heating up and freeing the adhesive along these edges. Now let's see if we can get a playing card in there. There we go. All right. Now let's see if this LCD still works. Yep. So we got the glass removed from the LCD, got an old frame to use instead of a mold, and we got the new glass. Just using some denatured alcohol to wipe off fingerprints and stuff from the old LCD. Lots of people will say you don't need to do this, and you probably don't, but I do it anyways. So the LOCA I'm using is APS UV 346. I've heard lots of people complain that this stuff is much harder to rework, and that may be true, but the thing is, it's harder to rework if you're doing glass only in the frame. The way I'm doing it, where I take the LCD out of the frame and then separate the glass from the LCD on a hot plate with the wire, makes it so that, you know, this tougher LOCA doesn't really have any effect on my process. So by using this, all I'm doing is making the job harder for someone who does it after me, who doesn't do it right and just does LOCA in the frame. Ah, man. All these little bits still on here. Now really, these tiny little specks and stuff are not going to show up, but I just can't let it slide. Alright. Do the classic shape. Had to pause the video because I got a call. always get calls and people coming in when I'm trying to do a video. Alright, the glue has started touching in that one spot. Get this corner started too. And just gently lay it down. And of course we have a bubble. Of course. So this happens from time to time. This is how I deal with it. Take some tweezers and just kind of scoop the bubble out of the LOCA. There we go, bubble is gone. And more bubbles. Never fails. You're recording stuff and things go wrong. But at least now you can see that this kind of crap does happen and it's easy to fix. Alright, try this again. So I'm just putting light pressure to kind of spread the area the glass is contacting the glue slowly to try and avoid even more bubbles. All right. Now just light pressure in the center to help squeeze the LOCA out to the edges. Just rub from the center towards where you want the LOCA to go, and it goes there. Okay. At this point, I always let it sit there for a few minutes and come back and check after, say, just 2 or 3 minutes, and make sure that there's no air bubbles that have seeped back in. And that way I know when I put it under the light, I can just leave it and not have to keep coming back and checking it and making sure there's no bubbles. Because every once in a while you'll get a bubble in the corner or something. So I'm going to stop the video now, start it back up after it's sat for a few minutes. And there are no bubbles, so we're good to go. Now it goes under the UV light. And we'll let that sit for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes while I do a iPhone 4. And it should be done. All right. So, look, just as an example, you see all the LOCA that's in here. Now granted, I used a little bit too much, but if you're not opening up and looking every time you do glass only in frame, then you don't know how much LOCA is leaking in there. So sure, people will say, oh, it's fine. If you use the right amount of LOCA, it's fine. You don't get any in the frame. It just spreads out perfectly every time and only goes where you want it to. I say bullshit. If you're not taking the LCD out of the frame when you do glass only, especially on the S5, then you're a moron. No offense to all you morons out there who do it that way. I've had enough come in from other shops who do glass only in frame to know that at least everyone I've ever seen had some LOCA that leaked back there. So just about every S5 glass only repair video that I saw out there on YouTube does something wrong. So here's my contribution. And the finished product is basically the exact same thing you would get if you were to replace the entire display assembly with a brand new one, because you are refurbishing the LCD in such a way that you don't do all the stupid things that happen when you do glass only in the frame. This is basically the equivalent of putting a brand new LCD in your customer's phone, but for the same price as a piece of glass. Now, some people may argue that this process takes too long, which I think I've shown that it doesn't. But for even faster turnaround for your customers, what I like to do is take a previously refurbished S5 LCD and just pull theirs out, pop the refurbished one in, and then I'll refurbish theirs later, like today. It's a slow day today. So here I am refurbishing LCDs. And that way, you know, my glass only repair to the customer takes about 15, 20 minutes. Whereas if you're taking the time to do glass only in the frame and, you know, however you do it, laying out pieces of adhesive to try and make a border that the LOCA can't get past. Pro tip, it can get past, and it does. Then you're taking the time to do that, then your glass only repair takes longer than mine, at least from the customer's perspective. So there you have it, all done. This is ready to go in someone else's phone. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, hit the like button, share it, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Thanks for watching.